Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, this is Story Dude, and I'm here to read some excellent stories that have been submitted to a popular online forum that shall not be named. Let's dive right into it and see what kind of stories we got today. TIFU by falling for a Reddit sob story scam. This weekend, what is wrong with me? This happened a couple months ago. I'm scrolling Reddit and I see a post from a woman complaining about a bad financial situation she's in because of her abusive ex. The gist of it is that she's out of money and her ex didn't pay his child support that week and is generally being crappy. What kind of subreddit this appears on? She was feeling bad because she stole diapers from the store and hadn't eaten in days. Her bank account was negative, and it was gonna be another 5 days or so before she could get her next paycheck from work. It was well written, heart wrenching story. I think it had thousands of upvotes and comments. I scrolled through a lot of them, and nobody had directly offered to help her. I wanted to, but I'm also in a tight financial spot. I did some thinking and decided that the consequences for me missing my electricity bill wouldn't be as bad as her and her baby starving or her going to jail for stealing. I messaged her on Reddit asking her how much her bank account was negative, and she said minus $87. So I offered to PayPal her some money to get her through the next week without paying a bunch of overdraft charges and whatnot. But I just want to interrupt because this brings out something I read recently to the effect that poor people tend to be more generous than rich people. And just reading the fact that he's going to have to miss his electricity bill to pay a random stranger on Reddit just kind of brings up to me that I feel that this is a good example of how, a well-to-do person reading this would just scroll on by, possibly. But it's interesting to see this solidarity existing from a source that is itself maybe in need. I sent her $200 and a message to confirm that she got the money, and she didn't respond. I thought that was odd, and somehow for the first time I wondered if it was a scam. So I went to her profile to see if she had responded to the comments on her post. And the post was freaking gone. I looked at her comment history, and she hadn't made any comments in like a year. Went back to PayPal, no chance of a refund. The thing is, this isn't even the first time that I've been scammed. Or the second. Oh man. I hate to tell this to people because I believe that having a good heart and believing that people are good is a good thing. But man, you got to watch out for people. People can be predatory. My identity's been stolen so much it feels like more people know my social security number than 911. Oh man. The thing that weirdly pisses me off is that she would have responded to my message that she got the money and that everything was gravy. I would have at least walked away from the situation feeling like I did a good thing helping someone out. Maybe it doesn't make sense, but just feel like, okay, scam me, but at least be nice enough about it to respond after I sent the money to keep the illusion that it wasn't a scam. That's a good point. And also, from the scammer's perspective, it's in their interest to continue responding. They could have roped you in and kept, milking you for money if that's what you're into. This is a strange one. Humans are weird, man. TLDR. Someone pretends to be a starving broke mom with a baby. I send her money I don't have. She disappears into the ether like goddamn Nightcrawler. And I'm a dumbass. So it sounds like the lyrics to a great song there. Edit. Remove some bits because people are thinking this is some reverse card to get the... Whoa, my goodness. Yes, you could be the scammer. Oh man, the internet's a crazy place. I didn't even think of that. See, I'm too naive I'm only allowed to read the internet through this form. I don't interact with it directly because I would obviously fall for all of these scams myself. Amazing. So basically, this is some reverse card to get the money. There are many people struggling way more than me. If you've got money to spare, give it to them. I'm going to be fine. If I really needed money, I could liquidate some stocks. I just don't want to right now because gestures wildly at the stock market. Man, if you could sum up, the early 21st century in one post, I think this would be it. I mean, the fact that this guy can't pay his electricity bill, but is also probably, holding GME stock or something. This is just wild. This is wild stuff. I'm sorry about this, man. And I hope that you can continue, seeing the best in people, but you have to be like, I mean, in your case, sounds like you need to be about 200% more skeptical of people. You've you've got a good heart and a will to help. Don't lose that. If you want to make an impact, go to other places like givewell.org. Or if you want to make a personal impact, go volunteer at a soup kitchen or other local charity. People in need to help can use the proper channels to get that help. You are not that channel. The best you can do is direct them there. That's a very good point. There are lots of channels for people to get help, and I think, as much as I hate to say it, I guess it is a red flag when people reach out to you for help through through a weird channel like that. I didn't think of that either. Good thing I'm not on the internet, Mom. Bro, bro, you should never be missing bills to help someone. I don't know. Maybe sometimes you do. I mean, it's like on the airplane. How what? It's like on the airplane how they will tell you to put your mask on first. Oh, I get it. I get it. Don't put the mask when the oxygen is low. You have to put your mask on so that you can live to help the other person survive. Yeah. Also, I'm curious if you know the profile. Various sites out there probably have the post archived. What? Archived. Oh man. I'm sorry. Don't worry, guys. We're gonna delete this whole post. No one will ever see this. Hopefully. Hopefully. Did you hear that? This goes for most things. Don't use money you can't afford to lose, and it's not your job to help others without looking out for yourself first. True that. Hey man, sucks to be you. Maybe I can spot you the hey, wait a minute. Oh, Randy Long. Nope, you're a dumbass. You're a good person. If I'm scammed 9 times, but the 10 times someone who really needs a break gets one, then that's fine by me. And anyone scamming you the way that person did is going to get their karma eventually. Keep being good, brother. That's true that. True that. Oh, right. He was on to the next conversation here from relationship advice. My female 23 mom, female 46, brought up my friend's female 23 weight again. So I brought up hers and she blew up. Oh, I like that. So like fatties yelling at each other. So my mom has gained weight in the last few years. She's all my life brought up. I'm sorry. She's all my life brought up if she had noticed if someone had gained weight or not, etc. Which I think is just a bit boring in itself. Fair enough. She just said it to me, but it's not what a young girl wants to hear. That people can notice weight gain and care so much. Anyway, she has gained weight due to having chronic fatigue. She had seen my friend who gained weight yesterday. She gained weight yesterday? Oh, you okay. Saw the friend yesterday who had gained weight previously, who she hasn't seen in a while. I noticed she gained weight too, but never said anything because I don't even care, to be honest, and also presumably because you're not a terrible person. My mom just brought it up, the fact she gained weight, and was saying all of her facial features has gone and she will have to be careful, etc., etc. What? I think then I said, you do realize people were probably saying this about you when you gained weight. And she started to get annoyed with me. Could hear her saying to my dad that I'm fuming with her and all this. I went and she said, I'm not fuming. She just always brings up weight, so I was proving a point. That's when she hit the roof screaming and me saying, I say something about what she says every day, making the point that she's bullying her every day, and she kept screaming this over and over. Sorry, guys, this is a hard one to read. I am the one to hold my tongue, but I've noticed if I point out what her character is like, rarely, she hits the roof and tries to play victim, acting like I bully her every day, which is far from the truth. Last time, a few months ago, I was sick of her not listening to me when I listened to all of her problems all of the time. And she said the same thing, that I always point out her flaws. It's like she uses it to get out of the conversation and come off as right. What are people's opinions of what's going on here? Well, since I've started this gig, I've been doing some videos where people were discussing the traits of a manipulative person. I can say with confidence that your mother meets a lot of the criteria people have mentioned in our recent video about manipulation. That she's someone who, yeah, she sounds like a narcissist. Although I hate to make diagnosis on the internet, but this is some pretty crazy stuff. I'm sorry you have to deal with this, OP. Let's see what the community has to say. It's sadly a common thing that you're describing. Your mom is so used to talking about people behind their back, and now you've called her out on it. She's defensive. Yeah, but it seems she's not even talking behind people's back, but just being like insanely talking about people's facial features disappearing. That is just disgusting. Great book, Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents by Lindsay Gibson. Will probably be a very validating read for you. All right. It was a weird day when I realized that no one had ever called my mom on her poor behavior to others. So she just kept being unpleasant. You may be the first person in decades to call your mom out on her nastiness. And hey, you have the right to protect your friend's feelings. With my mom, I started just identifying her behaviors. She'd say something awful about my friend, not to their face, she was backstabby, and I'd look her in the eye and say, "That was unkind and you know better," and she'd shut up. I just kept doing that, and since I didn't give her encouragement, and she didn't give her a rude remark in return, so she could blow up about it, she stopped saying crap like that around me. My mom would always talk about my best friend's family, how they were all overweight. I didn't realize how messed up that was until I was much older. It made me feel bad to hear. Kids shouldn't have to listen to body shaming. It teaches us to body shame others. Yeah, I think I'm guilty of that too. In fact, they used to call me fatty when I was a kid, and I wasn't even that fat. So, Mom, you shouldn't have called me fatty back then. Your mom is just projecting. Just like your mom, mine is now what she herself would dub as fat. My, how the turntables. I don't view her that way, but karmically I just find it interesting. Fascinating stuff. Your mom is a narcissist. Okay, no, I'm not alone in thinking that. You'll always be in the wrong and she will always be the victim. You can say and do what she wants, but if you call her out on it and point out that she is the same, then you get the blame for her bad actions. Look up narcissist and see how much of it explains your mom's behaviors. It can be very eye-opening for you. Yeah, although I once again reiterate that narcissist is like a medical term. You shouldn't throw it around too lightly. Oh, right. So that's gonna wrap it up for us today here at Story Dude Productions. I hope that all of you out there on YouTube have enjoyed this presentation. And we will catch you in a few more hours with some more stories out here. So until then, stay cool and take care. Bye, y'all.